We always see the polished, perfect success stories of innovation, right? But what about the messy, chaotic reality that gets you there? Today, we're pulling back the curtain and deconstructing the entire process, from a single idea all the way to a complete philosophy. We all see the final product, that big breakthrough moment. But what about the journey? The late nights, the countless failed attempts, those moments of sheer panic and sudden insight? What does that path actually look like? Because spoiler alert, it is never a straight line.
So for this, our source is something pretty special. A collection of raw, completely unedited audio logs. These are the real-time thoughts of this anonymous kitchen scientist, someone who is obsessively documenting their quest for perfection. It's an incredibly rare peek inside the mind of an innovator while they're actually in the middle of it all.
Every great innovation starts with what sounds like a simple goal. For our experimenter, it wasn't just about making some soy milk. No, it was about achieving the perfect soy milk. And that obsession, well, that's where our whole story really begins.
And here's where it gets interesting. The real challenge, as our experimenter found out fast, wasn't about just following a recipe. The goal was to understand and totally master every single variable. The soaking time, the blending technique, the exact temperature, all of it, through just relentless, intense trial and error. Okay, so let's dig into the first piece of this puzzle, mastering the product itself. And as we explore this process, we're going to build out a mind map to visualize and classify all the achievements, starting right here with the core formula.
One of the biggest aha moments came during the blending process. The experimenter figured out that the standard way, a single long blend, was super inefficient. The real secret was using multiple, short, equal-timed blending phases. This just broke down the particles so much more evenly, creating a product that was dramatically smoother and more condensed. A total game changer.
And look, we're not talking about a small improvement here. According to the logs, this new multi-phase blending technique was found to be 2 times more efficient at getting all the nutrients and flavor out. That is a massive leap forward, and it was achieved just by changing the process, not the ingredients.
So here it is, the final perfected process. You have to imagine each one of these steps represents dozens of failed experiments. Soaking for just the right amount of time, 18 to 24 hours, using that multi-phase blending technique, cooking at a super precise 92 degrees Celsius. And this is crucial, adding the flavor after cooking so you don't kill the fragrance. This is the hard-won formula.
But here's the thing, a perfect product is great, but it's really only half the story. True innovation means you have to optimize the entire system around it. So the experimenter's focus started to expand way beyond just the soy milk itself and onto the efficiency of the whole operation.
And some of these system-wide innovations are just brilliant. A cleaning hack using 42-degree water that meant no more scrubbing. A wheeled rack to make everything mobile. Pre-blending seasonings to save time. Even using homemade kombucha as a free acidifier. It all led to this amazing philosophy where byproducts like soy pulp or okara weren't seen as waste, but as another valuable food source.
And you know what's wild? The learning didn't even stop in the kitchen. The audio logs actually show the experimenter researching business concepts like visual merchandising. Basically, how do you display the product to make people want it? This shows a mind that's connecting the tiniest details of a formula to the biggest picture of how you sell it.
Okay, this brings us to the final branch of our mind map, and honestly, this might be the most important one. The deepest insights that came out of all this, they weren't really about soy milk at all. They were about the psychology of innovation, of failure, and of just solving problems.
This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Our experimenter realized that real solutions, they're often not glamorous or elegant. They can be kind of ugly and unpleasant, but they get the job done. It's about letting go of that need for the dopamine hit you get from a perfect, pretty solution and just embracing what actually works. And this whole philosophy got a serious real-world test during what I'm calling the brown sediment incident. A batch came out with this flaw and the team completely panicked. They wanted to throw it all out, but instead of seeing a failure, the experimenter saw a social experiment. They reframed the whole story, telling customers the sediment was a natural feature from using healthier local beans. And guess what? The customers bought it. The disaster they were all afraid of turned into a total success.
And this quote just nails the lesson from that whole mess. When things go wrong, the first instinct for a lot of people is to panic and start blaming things, especially new methods. But the innovator's mindset is to ignore all that noise and just methodically, calmly examine every single factor one by one until you find the real root cause.
And so, here it is, the complete playbook, all mapped out. It all starts with obsessively perfecting the formula. Then it expands to optimizing the entire system, and it all culminates in developing a resilient mindset for solving any problem that comes your way. This is the full anatomy of innovation, right here.
You know, when you look at this whole journey, from a simple bean to a complex philosophy, it leaves you with one big takeaway. Every huge breakthrough is really just a series of small problems, solved one by one, with a ton of curiosity and persistence. So the real question is, what problem are you ready to solve?